Hello everyone. Homework problems from chapter 8. And with the two homework problems that I have here, what we are looking at is identifying the test statistic and calculating the value. So the first thing I want to look at, and I have it in a Word document, is this is what we're dealing with when we're talking about the test statistic. Z, T, and Z. For proportions, we use the z-score. For a mean, whenever our problem deals with mean, and the standard deviation, population standard deviation, is not known, we use t. In dealing with the mean, but the standard deviation is known, we use z. So the criteria is fairly simple. We just got to make sure that we understand this table, and that's located in your book. So let's look at what we have. We have a claim. The mean pulse rate, beats per minute, of adult males is equal to 69 beats per minute. For a random sample of 150 adult males, the mean pulse rate is 70.1 beats per minute, and the standard deviation is 11.1 beats per minute. Find the value of the test statistic. So for this one, I look at it and I see that it's dealing with mean, so I know I've narrowed it down to two formulas, either calculating the t-score or the z-score. And what I know is that my standard deviation is not known, so I'm going to do a t-test. So for this, I have t equals let me pull this up right here. See, my standard deviation is not known, and then the other criteria, and normally distributed, or my sample size is greater than 30. But this is the main delineating factor, whether the standard deviation is not known or the standard deviation is known. So that's the formula I'm going to use. And now I simply plug in my values. The sample mean is 70.1. My population mean is 69. My sample standard deviation was 11.1, and my sample size was 150. And now I just do the math on the calculator. Again, this is going to be a t-score though. It's going to be a t-score. And I end up with a t-score of 1.21. I've identified my test statistic as being t, again because it dealt with the mean, and I'll write that down. So it dealt with the mean and the standard deviation is not known, not given in the problem. That's what led me to select this formula, and that is my value. Number 2, most students would avoid taking statistics if they could. A survey of 432 randomly selected students showed that 55% of them would avoid taking statistics. Find the value of the test statistic. Well, this deals with the proportion. So when dealing with the proportion, I know that I have z equals, and I'll pull that up. See, proportion z equals, and that'll be my formula. So I've identified my test statistic. And now I plug in my values. So I will have z equals p hat is 0.55 minus, again we use the values for p, subsequently q is 0.55 also. And hopefully by now you realize that once you have p unknown and you use 0.5 and 0.5 for q, pq is 0.25, 0.5 times 0.5, and my sample size 432. And I type in calculate on my calculator. And I end up with a z-score of 2.08. So I've identified my test statistic and I have found its value. Again, this is a step within the process of hypothesis testing. Okay, guys, please watch your publisher's videos, critically think and structure your homework, and good luck on this homework in Chapter 8.